Can only imagine how the meeting for this show went. All right, guys, WrestleMania tickets are running slow. What do we do? I know what we can do. Wait, shut up. I've got the best ideas. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. Ha ha ha. We're going to have Finn Balor win the U.S. Championship from Damian Priest. We're going to have a bunch of random tag matches, and we're going to have Edge turn heel for no goddamn reason. Vince, Edge versus AJ sells itself. Why do we need to turn Edge heel? Canadians are always heel. That's what Chris Benoit did. He did the ultimate heel turn. Nobody mentioned that name. Mention what name? Mention Chris Benoit. So Chris Benoit, you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired. God damn it, I need a new writing staff. Where the hell am I? I'm John Rickman with my review of WWE Raw. In fact, that really makes about as much sense as anything Vince has said on camera for about the last 10 goddamn years. The road to WrestleMania is messy. Really, really goddamn messy. We're in Columbus, Ohio, and look, there were a couple of good moments on this show, but they were also confusing because I'm not really sure why we need to do certain things, and it's just, they're just stumbling. They're just rolling on the river, the Columbus River, as it were, towards WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in history. It's going to end up being a fucking slog. NXT Stand and Deliver, I'm Yours may actually end up being pretty decent, and that's despite the fact that NXT 2.0 has been really messy. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. Messy is the theme for tonight's show. The crowd was up for some of it, and then Edge really had to get them back in because he's like, all right, here's just what I'll do. I'll just go crazy and turn heel with my bouncing and behaving 47-year-old hair. That's what I'll do. Edge can work great as a heel. It's just, I'll get into that here in a little bit. So Owens and Rollins open up the show, and Owens' oversized cowboy hat was amusing. He was wearing it sideways or whatever. I knew a girl that could actually do reverse cowgirl sideways. Not even if you paid her enough. She would just do it on command. It was like as easy to spread as hot peanut butter. So now that I've eliminated pretty much every woman that is watching my channel, you know, the remaining 3, let's move on with the rest of the review. Seth was dressed like Marty, student defiler Skrull. Except Seth is a much better person than Marty Skrull would ever hope to be. And Seth is also allowed within 1,000 yards of a child, which is a good thing because he has children, and also 1,000 yards of a school. Again, good thing considering that his daughter is going to be going to school in a number of years. Anyway, enough dumping on Marty Skrull. I'll do that in AEW when Serena Deeb shows up, because Serena Deeb has issues getting with somebody that knowingly did that to one of his students, one of his underage students, and missed me with the legal age limits in the UK. It's still disgusting. So they go over how this year has been for them. It hasn't been easy, and Owens talks about the state of Texas, pretty much telegraphing that Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to show up next week and cost Owens and Rollins the championships. Watch them suddenly have like Owens and Rollins take on Austin and a partner of his choosing. It turns out to be The Rock showing up all of a sudden, and they beat them in like 5 minutes, assuming The Rock would be allowed to do that, considering he's got all the Hollywood insurance after all that, you know, stuff that happened at Mania 29. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? I think it's going to be Austin versus Owens, and it's certainly going to be, God, it's not going to be good. I mean, 57-year-old Stone Cold Steve Austin, even against a safe worker like Kevin Owens, is going to be a mess. So, by the way, they are having the KO show here. This is one of a few talking segments that just went on forever and a day that's never. Gable and Majin Buu show up. The thank you shirt is stupid. The sheesh. Gable is trying. It's just not good. It's not. I appreciate that he is trying to sink his teeth in this goddamn thing. It's certainly better than Shorty G. But then again, I've shat things out that were better than Shorty G. But I'm sorry. It's not good. It's not entertaining to me. And they don't like how he says, thank you. And he knocks the Ohio State University, calling it a community college. Then again, given all the academic violations they've had with the football team, probably not that far off. And, of course, Owens at one point says, I don't like numbers, they're confusing or whatever. Steiner math, this went a while. This really went a while. They did the they did this thing. It was like an Austin Powers skit in 2022, which is absolutely the pinnacle of relevant comedy according to Vince, or any of the writers. These guys tried to make it work, it just wasn't great. But then we get a bit of a brawl, and oh look, we got a tag match. Holla, holla, holla. Over half the match, I mean, there were only 7 matches on the show, but All the matches are just random tag matches to just nurse this thing along until WrestleMania, which, by the way, is the most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in WWE history, and is also in a month. Or actually, like 32 days. April 2nd and 3rd. They really gotta try hard to, put the goddamn pedal to the floor. They may sell quite a few tickets, but goddamn, they're gonna have to do some comps. They're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff to fill that thing. Even to get 80,000 people there each night. Oh, so we joined this tag match already in progress. Owens and Rollins against the Alpha Academy. Excuse me. Gable and Majin Buu, who looks like a thumb. I can't help but see it. He looks like a thumb soldier from Spy Kids. We get this going a while. The crowd was into it. It wasn't a bad tag match. As much as they're trying with the tag division, I have been conditioned that Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about tag team wrestling, and this is the proof. Rollins does get the hot tag, but then eventually we get a melee, we get a buckle bomb, stunner, and a stomp 1, 2, 3. So Majin Buu basically fucked it up by not saving his tag partner. Is what it is. The tag champs take another pin. Alright, whatever. Let's move on from that. Edward James Olmos has a video package and then tries to cut a promo and get him a manager, ASAP. And don't get him a manager named ASAP. Get a sap that can be his manager. They can get beat up. Get him Tree Sap that can be his manager, because Tree Sap could talk better than this. And it's not even a language thing. The guy's trying. The guy's just not interesting. He's just a big tree. That's all he is. He's just like a big ent without the cool voiceover stuff. And then they talk about how he's from Nigeria. They said Nigeria. Hogan, stop. Get that spray can out of his hand. Well, look what he did. But be careful what you say on camera, brothers. Don't apologize and make restitution for being racist. Just apologize for what he said on camera. Dijakovic, that's his name, by the way, taking on Edward James Olmos. It was a jump start, I guess. Edward James Olmos beat him up and then pinned him eventually when Dijakovic said, yeah, I can go, and then he got beat up. When was the last time Dijakovic was on Raw? It's been like 3 months? 4 months? I remember him facing Balor at one point in the match. That's about it. And I think that was a while ago. So, Mania, by the way, is sponsored by Snickers. Once again, oh, great. There's Hogan. There's Hogan. Says Snickers. And he's just doing that thing again. So, let's talk about Nikki, Piper, and Becky doing promos. Why I did the Kaylee Ray accent, I don't know. They're doing promos. And then Liv likes Rhea's brutality. Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know, Kier, I will turn this show around if you don't stop thinking. Stop it. Get some help. Seriously, you stop it, Kier. Honestly, stop it. I mean, look, we all love Rhea's brutality. Except me. I certainly wouldn't want Rhea to throw me, step on me, and just brutalize me in every possible way. But let's just move on from that. And you didn't hear that. Shut up. No, you didn't. Again, Kier, stop thinking about it. So, another multi-person match. It's Liv, Rhea, and Bianca against Nikki, Piper, and Becky. At least this made sense because they've intermingled with each other. This is, by the way, the second most amount of whipping and leather I've seen involving 6 women on camera. You don't want to know about the first, and always delete your search history. So, stop the Nikki Ash gimmick. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. So, man, at one point, though, Becky messed with the hair. You mess with the hair, and you're going to get whipped. I mean, we got a whipping. That's how you stop the lynch mob. You just whip them. That joke sounded a lot better in my head, so I'm just going to move on from that. But Becky was slashed and everything. I mean, shit, that was brutal. That was some brutal shit. It was just like the Sasha one. Like, that was loud. That was some loud shit. KOD, by the way, on Nikki Ash for the win. Okay. The match wasn't bad. It was certainly better than the other one. Just wasn't great. Hey, at least Liv was on the winning side. So we at least got that. Hooray. So, 2.0 recaps with Ziggler and Champa. They gave Champa generic theme music. So now no one will survive, including the original musical artist. Champa versus Root and Ziggler. Well, Ziggler on the outside, around the outside. It was basic. So basic. You're so basic, bitch. Boy, I couldn't sound more white saying that. And Champa wins with the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling. No surprise roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Then we get a beatdown. Ziggler knocks Champa, and talking about the tag match they're going to have and how Ziggler is going to beat Rex Steiner for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Stand Deliver, or NXT Stand Deliver, whatever the fuck they're calling it. Why is Reggie's theme so catchy, by the way? I'm also calling it now. Ciampa's going to be wrestling on Main Event by the summer. I will be amazed if he is not released sometime next year. And I'm not even knocking Champa, but I see them seeing him as a relic, and they will want to cut ties. Tamina and Tozawa against Dana and Reggie. Why? For who? Why? Why? Why does this exist? Why is this on a television program? Why does Reggie always lunge his taint at his opponents? To get the victory as well. And then, he pinned Tozawa. And, of course, Tamina just, I have not seen a Snuka look that uninterested in love since, Jimmy and Nancy, in May of 1983. So, Dana got blacked by Reggie's BBC. Might as well just make this review as offensive as possible. And then Tamina forces Tozawa to just take it. Just take it. Yeah. A Snuka choking somebody. It's like her dad is still alive. That's mean. Let's move on. Profits talk to Steve Patrick, because that's his name. He is no longer Kevin Patrick. Owens wanted to change his name. He is now Steve Patrick. And they want to win and get a tag title shot. It's pretty much been the same thing they've been saying for the last 6 goddamn months, if I recall. Lashley is still in concussion protocol, and we're not sure what's going to happen on March 5th for the Madison Square Garden house show. Now, is it a house show, or are they actually going to show it on the cock? I think they should show it on the cock, because 1, it would be an interesting way for people to watch. 2, it can move some ticket sales. 3, well, fuck it. I mean, why not actually have something like that? Because then you could drive some interest, because it would be kind of cool to see Madison Square Garden this close to WrestleMania, the most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania in WWE history. So, Rey and Dominic cut very staged promos. I don't know whose idea it was to give Dominic a microphone, but whoever that is should get 3 to 5 years. So, Hollywood, they call Miz a Hollywood mega dumbass, and Miz is here, and he's trying to put over the Logan Paul thing. You remember Logan Paul, the guy that filmed the dead body in the Japanese forest? No, I'm not going to forget that. He needs to be shamed repeatedly, along with his stupid twat brother, and his parents for birthing them, for his mother for birthing them, and his father for helping reproduce them and bring them into this world. They're both goddamn scum, and they don't deserve to be here. Especially, they don't deserve the goddamn fame they're getting for how much shit they have given everybody, and how shitty people they are. So, this match is already a wash, and is on the worst matches of the year list. There's no way this can be good. Nothing against Rey. Miz can do some good stuff. Dominic, he is what he is. I mean, he's getting better. Logan Paul, I got nothing against celebrities being involved in wrestling. First couple of WrestleManias were built on having celebrities involved. If Logan Paul is the best you can fucking do, it's a downgrade from Bad Bunny, which I didn't think I'd say at this point, last year, but alas, here we are now. I was proven wrong at last year's WrestleMania. The Mysterios took on Cedric and Shelton. Why do Cedric and Shelton still have the Hurt Business music? How did Cedric and Shelton continue to get TV time, despite the fact, while talented, they have not been featured properly at all? So, Rey chases Miz away after Miz distracts, and the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, the surprise roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Second straight match. So, Riddle has a coloring book, and I'm sure that he still has to be told how to color in between the lines. Maybe he could teach his kids. Oh, he can't teach his kids how to color in between the lines. He never sees his kids because he's a bad parent, along with being an abuser, allegedly. Orton looks like he wants to be literally anywhere else, and pretty soon he's going to be at a local medical facility, unfortunately. Carmella then implies to Zelina, whoever told Zelina to do that accent deserves to be jailed for 5 to 7 years. And then, or should be flogged and, Starship Trooper style. Carmella implies that her and Corey are going to celebrate by having a live sex celebration at Mania. They even imply that, shut the lights out in a stadium. Just burn the whole goddamn stadium to the ground. There's going to be a lot of goddamn problems, but just burn the stadium to the ground before anybody gets there. That is something we don't need to fucking see. Why does anybody want to watch Carmella and Corey? Nobody likes Carmella and Corey. If you think you do, you're wrong. I know they have a YouTube show, and apparently they have fans, because everybody needs something. Like Jim Jones had fans, and we saw how that turned out. But your opinion is yours, and it's also wrong. I get it. You can like whatever the fuck you want. But no, Carmella, nobody wants to fucking see a burnt piece of beef jerky in a cheating dollar store CM Punk wannabe do a live sex celebration. We barely went to see it with Edge and Lita, because that wasn't awkward. So, 2 teams, 1 of many cups. Which do you choose? RK Bro took on the Meryl Streep Profits. It was the usual. It wasn't bad, but the frog splash finish, oh boy. Orton either hurt his elbow or his shoulder. He got pinned. They pushed his foot off the rope. Dawkins did. But Orton was crumpled up like this. And Ford didn't mean to. These accidents happen. Orton's had a history of arm problems. And hopefully it was nothing terrible. But it looks like it might be. It looks like it might be something bad. So, I hope that Orton is going to be alright. Unfortunately, I fear that he may end up missing Mania, and they may have to pick up this program sometime around SummerSlam. So, Owens and Rollins talked to Steve Patrick about what they're going to do, and, all this. And by the way, from this time to Balor's entrance and a break, and then coming to when we get to the next match, we've eaten up 15 minutes of national television to do what? What did we accomplish by not having anything happen? So Veer is coming eventually. I mean, his wife probably loves the fact that he comes so much, but she's probably so goddamn full that it's like a blonde with a runny nose. Full. It's just weird. And nothing against the guy, but it's just like now it's a running gag. He's going to end up either coming out dancing like, in that Bollywood tape that Homer Simpson had, or he's going to end up being like Apu. They're going to make him something offensive instead of this warrior that could run people over, which has a short shelf life anyway. Smackdown Recaps. Priest makes his entrance and break. My God, Balor's been standing there for 10 minutes by this point is what I'm noting. Theory and Vince then. Because we need more talking. Theory says, hey, Vince, you're going to be at the Pat McAfee show. The last time you were on a talk show, you got pissed and knocked the notes out of a guy's hands. In case you've been living under a rock, or if you are, 25 or under, it's Vince and Bob Costas. That's what it is. Vince and Bob Costas. Look it up on YouTube. So, what if he tries to jump you? Theory says, oh, I'll be there. And he says, not that kind of show. Picks up the pencil, but it could be. I'm willing to bet that Theory has no goddamn idea what that is. He probably had to be told what a pencil is. He doesn't seem very smart, is my point. Great in the ring. It's great in the ring. Just not very smart. So, Priest versus Balor for the U.S. Championship. Had a big fight field. This is also the last match excuse me, the last match of the evening. And he was trying to grind him down, and man, Priest was pounding down Irishmen. Usually you have to go to a church to see that. And it's not usually a man. It's moving on. We get to see some good stuff here, like some really good action. Can Priest hold in the demonic side or whatever and not go after the altar boys? Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the review. Balor capitalizing and just pounding on Priest. He's just capitalizing on Priest's opening or whatever. Usually the Priest capitalizes on opening. I'll stop these jokes one of these days. No, I won't. We get a dive outside and a break, and the pace was good. This was some good stuff. I was like, okay, Priest is going to win a hard-fought match, and then, no, the stomp. Everybody do the coup de grace, and then we do the big old zombie stomp, and then we have a new champion, Finn Balor. What the fuck? Why would you do this? Okay, enough zombie stomp references. But why and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. If you get that reference, please type it in the comments. But Finn Balor's a new U.S. champion. I'm not opposed to Finn being the U.S. champion, but what? Why? Oh, and then Priest is like, the only reason you won is because of these people, and he turns on him, beats the shit out of him, and says he's going to get his title back. Okay, so Priest is back to being a heel. Priest is better as a badass heel anyway, but it was hard not to cheer for the guy. But what are we going to get now? Finn and Bad Bunny against Priest and somebody? Maybe we get that at SummerSlam. I mean, I think Bad Bunny's actually on tour or whatever, but at this point, we might as well bring Bad Bunny back, given the celebrities we're going to have involved in Mania. But, okay. He then targeted one of Finn's 3 arms. Gee, Corey, I wonder where your mind is. And Priest, just going heel for no goddamn reason, does the Razor's Toss thing on the announcer's table. I think Finn might have been crushed. That looked deadly. So then Edge comes to the ring. Who will the Mania challenger be? He's firing up the crowd and everything. It's AJ Styles, more like Edge J Styles. It's the bouncing and behaving hair community. Oh no, it's going to be Edge versus Styles in the Dallas community. Okay, that didn't work at all. He says, I want the Bulldog AJ Styles. I don't want the tag team bitch AJ that was, partners with Omos, Edward James Omos. And then Edge suddenly blindsides Styles. Oh, he's just trying to fire him up. So then they get fired up and then they do all this and then Edge kicks him right in the phenomenal ones. Well, at least they ain't going to have any more kids right there. Ow, the swollen nuts community. And then he beats him down and we're going to get the concerto community. Okay, I'll stop that. And Edge is like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I've come to my senses. Ha-ha! Boom! And then he's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Ha-ha! Boom! That's pretty much it. So yeah, Edge turns heel for no goddamn reason. Now it's Edge versus AJ Styles. It's going to be a good match. I mean, unless there is just like some off timing, because people have an off night, I don't see, barring an injury, how this can't be good. Even at the stage of their careers that they are. They're going to find a way to pull it out. And let me tell you right now, who doesn't want to see two mid-40-something-year-old guys pull it out right in Dallas and just sword fight right there? To be like watching the Von Erichs. Oh, wait. Only Kevin lived to be past 40. Well, on that note, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.